back, everybody, to another edition of MLB DFS Quick Hits, your Friday, June 29th edition. We are locked and loaded on a 14-game slate on your Friday to send you into the weekend. Hope Thursday worked out for you. Interesting two sets of slates there. Buddy in our Slack chat wanted to have some fun on a Thursday night, played a little 3-entry max and got her done, so good for him. Go check that out and join us anytime you want. Just ask for an invite, and we'll give you the access to all of the rooms, all of the sports, all of the good stuff. But let's get into this 14-game slate. Like I said, it's locked and loaded. We don't got the Cubs. As they are at home, they're having a weird 2:05 Pacific, 5:05 Eastern, not their normal afternoon game, but kind of a late afternoon game. Interesting one there. But we got Red Sox, Yankees, total of 9. Angels, Orioles, 10. Nationals, Phillies, 9. Tigers, Blue Jays, 8.5. You got Astros, Rays, 7. Brewers, Reds, 9. Mets, Marlins, 7. White Sox, Rangers, 10.5. Braves, Cardinals, 8.5. Giants, D-backs, 8. Indians, A's, 8. Rockies, Dodgers, 7.5. Royals, Mariners, 8. And then Pirates, Padres, waiting on that one. Lauer should be starting for the Padres, but they haven't made it official. But that's what we're looking at right now. So as you can tell, a ton of hitting. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 14. Half the games are 8.5 or higher. We do have some really good pitching. Let's get into that pitching. We got 3 guys, 13K or higher, 4 at 11, 9 or higher. So a lot of options there. We'll kick it off with Jacob deGrom at 13,600 at the Miami Marlins. He's been one of the best pitchers in all of baseball this season. He goes into Miami, a great park to pitch in. deGrom on the season has faced Miami twice, averaging 20 points a game against them. One was the one he left early, so take that with a grain of salt. But we know how good he can be and just how filthy he is. You got a Marlins team that strikes out 24% of the time versus right-handed pitching. deGrom's a great choice. I'm not going to go too deep into it. He's phenomenal. You got Trevor Bauer at 13-3. Another just outstanding choice going into Oco Coliseum. There's a lot of heat around baseball tonight. A lot of high temperatures, especially in the Midwest, the East Coast. Texas is going to be hotter than Hades again, so great pitcher's environment there. Oakland's going to be about low 70s, high 60s. So you're going to get one of your better environments there. Bauer has four straight games of 32 or more DraftKings points. 5 of 6 of 30 or more. That's 6, 7, 8. 8 straight of 20 or more DraftKings points. 9 of 10 at 20 or more. This guy has been amazing. Absolutely amazing. He is in the upper echelon of starting pitchers this year. Oakland strikes out 23% of the time versus righties. He's a minus 155 road favorite. There's a ton to like here. A ton to like. The Miami offense is a better one to face than the A's, so you give deGrom the upper hand in that one. You know, Miami have 296 WOBA, 129 ISO versus righties. Oakland actually has a little pop, as we know. But as a whole, both phenomenal matchups. Either one's in play. I'm going to go with Bauer over deGrom, but it's like 1A, 1B. You're picking at straws. You're saving $300. Pick your poison. Garrett Cole at 13,000. He's been a little off lately. He's begun with a long ball. You can go to him. It's a great spot versus Tampa Bay. We saw what McCullers did yesterday. Absolutely filthy. Got you 31 DraftKings points, I believe. They strike out 23% of the time versus righties. It's a phenomenal look. Out of the 3 aces, Tampa Bay has the lowest team total on the slate. Lefties hit 255, righties 307 versus Cole. 308 WOBA average, 132 ISO below average. So you definitely can look that direction if you so choose. I'm going to go Bauer, deGrom, 1A, 1B. Pick your poison. And then Cole is the third one in line for me up top. I got a little concerned about how he's been pitching, but hey, he's Garrett Cole. If he's going to light the team up, it could be the Rays. But the Rays have been pesky of late. They've been getting to teams, so don't just think it's automatic. Patrick Corbin, he's been really good. I'm going to pass on that one. I'll rather have the 3 guys up top. If you want one other guy above 9K, you could look at Nick Pivetta. He's $9,500 at home against the Washington Nationals. Pivetta's been ultra tilting this year. He had one rough start against Washington earlier this year. Or he had two rough starts, but the last one, it was a nasty weather game. He was pitching in rain off and on. It was bad. So I'm gonna let that one slide. His last time out, 5 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned, 7 Ks against the Nats for 15.3. He had 35.5 against the Phillies or the Cardinals start prior. He's been outstanding at home this year compared to on the road. So if you want to be contrarian, the Washington lineup has been struggling a ton. They strike out a little over 21% of the time versus right-handed pitching. You have a a team total of 4.4. Lefties 353, righties 263. So he's struggling against his lefties. They do have some lefties in the lineup for sure. Soto, Harper, maybe Defoe cracks the lineup. You got Murphy. They have a couple options out there. So he's very contrarian if you want to go that way. But I'd find a way to get up in that $13,000 range if you can, because as you'll see, the mid-tier sucks. You're going to go down below. If you want to get all the bats, I got a couple options for you, and let's get into some of those. In your 7K range, you got Marco Gonzalez, $7,800 at home against the Kansas City Royals. Gonzalez, he's coming off one of his rockier starts, 11.3, had 6.9 prior to that. That's at Boston and at the Yankees. Grain of salt. Against the Angels, 13.9. Still, the Angels, respectable offense. Even in those games, he had 6, 5, and 7 strikeouts, which we really do like to see. But then before that, at Tampa Bay, 18-9. Home against Tampa Bay, 24-2. Texas, 22-2. Oakland, 29-4. The guy's been pitching really, really well of late. Definitely something to look at here at $7,800. At home, he's got a 3.55 ERA, averaging 15.5 DraftKings points per start. The Royals have the lowest team total on the slate at 2.97, lower than the Marlins versus DeGrom. Or no, they have the third lowest, sorry. The Rays and the Marlins against DeGrom and Cole are the only ones that have a lower total. So the Royals at 3.11. Lefties hit 335, righties 343 off Marco, so he does give up hits. But you look at a Royals team, barely average WOBA of 302 and a sub-average ISO of 139. They struggle immensely against lefties, which is kind of weird. They are getting, I believe, Jorge Bonifacio back from his suspension, so that's a righty bat in the lineup. But as a whole, they just haven't got it done against left-handed pitching at all this year. They strike out 21.5% of the time versus lefties. Marco Gonzalez is a minus 210 home favorite. He has the highest odds on the entire slate, and he's $7,800. I know you like, what's that matter? And we've talked about it off and on briefly, but Vegas odds usually correlate with pricing for the most part. The fact he's $7,800 has the highest Vegas odds tells you either DraftKings mispriced him or Vegas is wrong. Which one is usually right? I'll just leave it at that. You can figure that one out on your own. But Gonzalez has a 20% K rate, a 45% ground ball rate, limits to hard contact. At $7,800, he's definitely in play in this mid-tier range. If you want to go here, I have no problem going to him in this mid-tier. The other option, Joe Musgrove, $7,600. When he returned from the DL, everybody was in love with this man. Oh, look at, he figured it out. He was great, blah, 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 blah. His last 2 starts, -3 at home against Arizona, 4.4 at home against Cincinnati. But, hey, he's going to a place to face a team that cures a lot of ails. If he struggles today, then we get really, really concerned. But he's going into Petco against San Diego Padres, a team that strikes out 26% of the time versus right-handed pitching. Musgrove has a 21% K rate, 11% swinging strike, 45% ground ball, limits to hard contact. A Padres team that has a team total that we're still waiting for, of course. But you look at lefties hit 327 off Musgrove, righties 282. A 286 WOBA and a 123 ISO. Those are both dreadful versus right-handed pitching. Dreadful. We played Austin Bibbins Dirks against the Padres a couple starts ago in one of the best hitting environments you'll see in baseball. Now we're going to Petco with Joe Musgrove. If Musgrove can't get it right, so be it. I would go back to this well over and over and over again at $7,600. When you're looking for value, this is one of your guys. So I got Musgrove 1, Marco Gonzalez 2, both really good options here. If you don't want to go all the way to the top, you can start right here and get a lot of bats, or you can match these guys with the guy up top and still get a pretty decent amount of bats in your lineups. A couple guys in the 6Ks and below you can take a look at for your GPP needs. Yes, don't throw anything at me. CC Sabathia, he's $6,500 at home against the Boston Red Sox. CC has faced Boston once this year, 4 innings, 9 hits, 4 earned, 5 Ks for 5.6. Yes, it's not great. He's averaging 15 points a game at home this year. His last 2 home starts, 24.1 against Tampa, 18 against the Nats, even at 25.4 at Toronto, 7.3 against Houston. It's a roller coaster ride with CC. You never know what you're going to get. He's $6,500. I wanted to bring him up for that fact and the fact that Boston has a team total of 4.3, middle of the pack on the night. Lefties 247, righties only 307. He's limiting hard contact a ton. And they've been just average 315 WOBA's just above. It's actually good, but the ISO is 155, just above average. So if you want to get contrarian, CC at 65 is in play for you, but you probably won't have to. The chalk down here, and rightfully so, is Marcus Stroman. He's mispriced. He's $6,300 at home against the Detroit Tigers. Yes, Stroman had a rocky year. He went on the DL. First start back at Anaheim, 5 innings, 6 hits, no earned, 5 Ks for 17.1 points. Could he have a disaster start? Yes, because we don't know if he's completely fixed, but we'd have to imagine it might have been mental because the stuff's been there all year. He's shown really, really, the strikeouts, the swinging strikes close to 10. He's got a 62% ground ball rate for crying out loud. He gives up a lot of hard contact. It's a Detroit team with a 22% strikeout rate versus righties. Again, another heavy home favorite, minus 175. It's $6,300. There's a lot to be said about that. The Tigers have a 3.65 total, 6th lowest on a 14-game slate. That's outstanding. They have a 294 WOBA and a 136 ISO, both below average. That ISO is pretty embarrassing versus right-handed pitching. So Stroman at 63 is a phenomenal play. Absolutely great play. You can match Stroman up with the $13,000 guys and get bats. You can match Stroman up with the $7,000 guys and get bats. It depends on how you want to go about the slate. It's going to be, I'm not saying, the big boys can struggle. There's no doubt about it. But if DeGrom or Bauer or Cole, if any of them or all of them get 30-plus points, you're going to need those, most likely, unless these middle-tier guys go off, which they very much could. So it's a definite interesting play. Cash game, go up top. GPP, hey, navigate the minefields, have some fun. Below Stroman, a couple other darts you can look at here is Wilmer Font, 5,900 at home against the Houston Astros. Yes, the Houston Astros. You saw what the bullpen game did yesterday. Font's been a regular now, going 5 2/3 in his last start, 22.4 against the Yanks. He's got back-to-back great starts against the Yankees, combined 9 Ks and 10 and a third innings against the Yankees. He's 5,900 against a Houston team that strikes out 20% of the time versus right-handed pitching. They have a team total of 4, which is right about middle of the pack. Lefties 397, righties 313 versus Wilmer Font. Yuli Gurriel's on paternity leave. Carlos Correa is now on the DL. So you definitely have some things you can enjoy when you're looking at that lineup. So as a GPP type play, Wilmer Font at 59 is in play for you. The last guy I want to mention for you is Sandy Alcantara of the Miami Marlins. He's going to make his big league debut with the club tonight. He's been really, really good in the minors for the most part this year. An ERA of around, where'd you go? He's got an ERA of like 3.5, 3.8 on the season. K rate's been outstanding. He's stretched out. He's thrown 100 pitches or more in basically 96 or more in 6 straight starts, 95 or more in 7 of 8. He's thrown 90 or more in like 9 straight starts. He's going 5+ innings in most of these starts. Strikeout 6.6, 4.5. He's got decent K numbers. He's been pitching really well in the minors at AAA, the New Orleans Baby Cakes for the Miami Marlins. So he's a guy that's in play for you in his matchup against the New York Mets. As we know, we love to target the New York Mets at times. They strike out over 21% of the time versus righties. Alcantara, the stuff you're going to see is from when he was in the minors, or when he was in the bullpen for the Cardinals last year. Remember, this is one of the guys that came over in the Ozuna deal. Ozuna deal. So keep him in mind. Mets have a 395 total. It's like 8th lowest on the slate. 311 WOBA, 165 ISO versus righties. So Alcantara at that cheap $5,300 price tag, it's boom or bust, but definitely has much more boom than bust potential at that price point. He's definitely a guy I'd take a peek at if you want to go cheap and be different, because Stroman is going to be the popular play at 63, and rightfully so. He's a phenomenal play at that price point. But I think an Alcantara could be very, very interesting down there. So down below, I got Stroman 1, Alcantara 2, CC 3, Wilmer Font 4. Overall, up top, Bauer and DeGrom 1A, 1B, with you got Cole and Pivetta as options up there as well. In the middle, I got Musgrove and Marco Gonzalez. Down below, I got Stroman, Alcantara, CC Sabathia, and Wilmer Font. So definitely a lot of angles we could go with on this slate. But let's get to the bats. And in order to do so, let me talk to you about Draft. Draft.com. Drafting your app store is a great way to play fantasy sports. Snake-style drafting, just the way you like to do it in your season-long leagues. Drafts take less than 5 minutes. You're done. If you win, you get paid out the next day. Totally up to you. It's tons and tons of fun. They got golf on the weekly. You got baseball every day. It's all different sizes and prices of contests. You can have head-to-heads, 3-mans, 5-mans, 10-mans. You can do tournament things. You can do all kinds of great, great events. And for NFL right now, they have the best balls. Go check out the Bench with Bubba, episode 104 with @Beerswater. Mike Beers, one of the best in the industry at best ball. Sat down with him, and he gave a lot of tips and strategies and players to look at. So go check that out. But if you're going to play best ball on draft, use promo code SD Sports at checkout. Get entry into a free $3 tournament. It can be for baseball, golf, NFL, best ball, whatever you prefer. but just use promo code SDSports at checkout, draft.com, draft in your app store, get entry into a free $3 tournament. Let's get to the bats again. Catcher's position. You got guys like Evan Gattis who's feeling it really, really good. Buster Posey versus Patrick Corbin at 4K could be a nice GPP type play. Probably not trying to pay up the catcher tonight with all the other bats in play, but he is worth a look. John Ryan Murphy at 36 versus Suarez, the Giants, also in play in that matchup. But if you are going to pay up like a Tucker Barnhart at 36 versus Chase Anderson, I can definitely get behind. We look at the Reds, a 4-5 total. Lefties 337, righties 364 off Chase Anderson. So Tucker Barnhart at 36, that price needs to stop rising, though. We're going to lose our value with our boy, but we definitely can look at him for now. The farther down you look, like GPPs, Mike Zunino can always run into one. Ian Kennedy loves to go up the home run, so you can take a look at him and his matchup. Nick Hundley at 32, a little cheaper in the Giants lineup if he gets a spot in that spot there. Other than that, you go down to like a Martin Maldonado against Hess at 3,100. His price tags come up too. Then we look at the White Sox and Kevin Smith starting. Saved my bacon yesterday. He's 3K against Gallardo. You want to target some White Sox and Rangers in those matchups. Most definitely, Brian McCann at 3K is worth a look against Gallardo, or against Font as well. The farther down you go, though, you can look at the likes of maybe a Rafi Lopez at 29. Probably not running to play that, though. But Omar Narvaez of the White Sox, hoping he gets to start. Because at $2,800 versus Gallardo in that ballpark, he'd be one of my favorite punts on the slate. So Omar Narvaez, a guy to definitely keep an eye on when you look at the lineups, see if he's hanging around. The only other, like Jorge Alfaro is a decent GPP against Fetty at 28 because Fetty's just horrible, absolutely horrible. The Phillies will be a nice look tonight. The guy I'm looking for, and I think he's going to be really cheap because he got called up yesterday from the minors, and we liked how he was hitting earlier. And where is he? He's playing for the Baltimore Orioles. He's in a good matchup tonight. He's facing Pena of the Angels. He's coming from the left side of the plate. Where the heck are you, buddy? There he is, Chance Cisco. I went right past him. He's up to 3,100. He's another cheapie you could look at in that situation. Going over to the first base position, you got Goldie at 53 at home against Suarez. That is a great spot. I respect Suarez. He's pitching really, really well. The D-backs have a 4-3 total, middle of the pack. Lefties 221 against Suarez. Righties 380 though. So if you're going to target him, it's not one of my favorite targets of the night. But if you're going to a guy like Goldie at 53, definitely a nice GPP type play. But Jesus Aguilar at 52, lock and load him against Sal Romano. This guy's just crushing baseballs. Another homer. He's homered in 3 straight games, 18 or more in 3 straight. Just hitting everything into the sun. He's at Great American Small Park. It's going to be a great environment to hit in again tonight. You look at a Milwaukee team with a 4-5 total. Lefties 384, righties 338 for Sal Romano. Just lock and load some Jesus Aguilar if you're going to go all the way to the top. There's no sugarcoating it whatsoever. If you don't like him, Eric Thames, first base outfield at 5K, in play as well. So both of those phenomenal options on this slate tonight. Max Muncy, first base, third base at 47 against Mr. Anderson of Colorado. Muncy loves hitting lefties. He's crushed them. He took another one deep just yesterday or the day before. Yesterday, I believe it was. He's just crushing baseballs. $4,700. He's definitely in play as one of the top options as well. Carlos Santana at 47 versus Fetty. Like it a lot. Philadelphia, 4-6 total. Lefties 376, righties 364 off Fetty. So you can definitely get some Carlos Santana and some fills in your lineups. This is why when you're already seeing all these great bats in play, they're expensive. It's going to be interesting how you want to go with the 13s or save on pitching. It's going to be really interesting. But you go down farther, you got guys like Jose Abreu versus Gallardo at 43 in that great hitting environment. That is a steal of a price tag in that kind of a matchup. So something to keep in mind there. Joey Gallo as a GPP at 41 versus Dylan Covey. That's definitely in play. When you look at Texas, they have the highest total at 5.5. The White Sox, the third highest at 4.95. Lefties 422, righties 336 off Gallardo. So yeah, get your White Sox on. When you get down to the 4K, Matt Olson in a GPP at 4K versus Bauer, because sometimes Bauer does give up a home run or two. So definitely something you can play in a GPP. Matt Davidson's first base, third base, 3,800 versus Gallardo. A nice contrarian angle in that White Sox-Texas lineup. I can definitely see that as an option. You go down a little more, maybe a J.D. Davis at 36, Brad Miller at 36 for Milwaukee if he's playing shortstop. He's a nice cheapie in that Milwaukee lineup versus Romano. You can take a look at that one. Yonder Alonso, 36, returning back to Oakland. facing Blackburn. That's an option for you as well. Cleveland's team total is 4.45. Lefties 347, righties 345 off Blackburn. Cleveland's been burning some teams lately, so they'll get overlooked tonight. Yonder at 36 is a nice cheapie out there. A few others you can take a gander at, like a Justin Bourne, a GPP versus DeGrom at 35. Don't run to play that, but just think about it. But like Luis Valbuena versus Hess at 3,400, first base, third base eligible. Angels have the second highest total on the slate at 5.3, so check that out. And it's just a really, really good spot there for Luis Valbuena, something you can take a look at there again. Second highest total. Lefties hitting 360, righties 360 off of Hess. So that's a nice value GPP play. We know what Luis Valbuena can do. He can get complete zeros, or he can pop off. Another guy to look at is Steve Pearce of the Boston Red Sox. Yes, the Boston Red Sox. Toronto traded him to Boston yesterday. He's first base outfield eligible if he is in the lineup. We know we love some Steve Pearce versus lefties. He's $3,400. Could be a nice play in the outfield or first base, whichever you prefer. But he's another cheapie you can take a peek at. Other than that, people are going to say, oh, look at Chris Davis. He's 3K. He's gone deep back-to-back games. Sure. If you want to play that game, maybe he's figuring it out. Knock yourself out. I'm not going to play Chris Davis. If he goes deep, more power to you. I see the appeal. I get the angles. He's homered twice in a row. That's all I'm going to say. Second base, you got Altuve at 51. Ozzie Albies is day-to-day, so keep an eye on that one. But like a Matty Carpenter versus Teheran, we know how lefties can hit Julio. He's $4,900 and worth a look. Cesar Hernandez at 47 versus Fetty. He's a very solid play in that matchup. But you go to a guy like Yohan Moncada. Again, great hitting environment, $4,500. That's a phenomenal looking play there. You go to a guy like Rugi Odor in a GPP at 41 versus Covey. Could be in play for you as well. You look a little farther down. Jason Kipnis is heating up. He's 37 versus Blackburn if you want some discounts. Alan Hansen's 35 versus Corbin as well. As a discounted play, I'd rather go to some other ones. But he is in play for you there. Ketel Marte is 3,400 against Suarez. That could be a cheapie for you. See if Johnny Villar's in the lineup. $3,400. Playing pretty well of late. So he could be a nice cheap second base option for you in a great spot there in Great American Small Park versus Sal Romano. The whole thing about this, there's a lot of great hitting environments. There's prices. When you're finding your discount, look for great hitting environments and crappy pitching. I know it sounds simple, but a lot of guys just go, oh, look, he's cheap. Well, yeah, he's cheap because he's facing Jacob deGrom. A $2,700 guy facing deGrom and a $3,400 guy facing Sal Romano. Give me the $3,400 for Sal Romano. There's differences in value. You got to really differentiate that and pick your spots where you need to. Brandon Drury got the call up for the Yankees. If he cracks the lineup, he's 3,200. He's second base, third base eligible, going against the lefty Erod. Drury was absolutely fire in the minors, so he just keep an eye on him. If he's in that lineup, $3,200 could be a nice discount for you in that one. Other than that, check lineups, see what comes in the sub 3Ks. Going over to third base, you got Arenado against the lefty Rich Hill at 55. He's in play. Jose Ramirez, 54 is great. Bregman's hitting everything. He's 53. These are all great plays. But you want to get a little different, get a little off the board because everybody will want to pay up for them. Eugenio Suarez, 5,100 versus Chase Anderson. We know how Chase Anderson can get hit around in a great ballpark. Be a little contrarian in that kind of angle. We mentioned Matt Carpenter. Max Muncy's 47. Another great play right there. Like that quite a bit. You go all the way down to Adrian Beltre at 4,100 against Dylan Covey. Great ballpark, great spot to hit in. Travis Shaw against Sal Romano at 41. So basically, you don't have to go up top. You can go all the way down to like a Beltre or a Shaw and really get a really good play in for you as well. But I'm not saying don't go up top. Those are great spots, but you don't have to. You can go to a Justin Turner, who we know crushes lefties. He's $3,900 for Anderson. That's a discount, a big discount. So keep him in mind. Like a Miguel Andujar at 39, but Matt Davidson's at 38 in a GPP. I like that quite a bit. Something to keep an eye on there. Mikey Moustakas at 37, maybe. I'd probably rather get up to Matt Davidson in a GPP, or slide on down Maikel Franco playing for the home run in a GPP at 37 against Fetty. Fetty's bad, really, really bad. So you can take those kind of GPP gambles against pitchers like that. You slide down a little more, gets a little bleaker, but Luis Valbuena, yet again at 34, is a guy you can take a look at in his matchup. Maybe Colin Moran, it's lefty-lefty, but Lauer is a bad lefty. I'd still rather have the Valbuena at 34 over Moran. But other than that, check your lineups. They're like Miguel Rojas is 29 against DeGrom. See, we love Rojas' value. Probably not against DeGrom, though. Shortstop. Lindor at 53 is a great play. Phenomenal play against Blackburn. Gene Segura is interesting at 48. I could look at that one a little more. Trevor Story at 45 versus Hill is a nice play. If it was in Colorado, it would be lock and load, but still a very good play in that matchup. Jerks and Profar at 43 versus Covey, I like quite a bit in the cheaper department. Tim Anderson versus Gallardo at 41's on the board. Same with Elvis Andrus at 4K. Andrus is coming back. He's slowly getting it going, folks. Enjoy these prices while you got them because they're not going to be here forever. He's definitely got it done of late. 12 points in his last time, 3 and then a 7. So he's slowly heating up. Look at Andrus at 4K versus Covey. As we keep sliding down, like an Andrelton Simmons at 3,800 versus Hess will be so overlooked and so low owned. The Angels will be an interesting angle versus Hess tonight. I could definitely look into that a little more. But outfield shortstop, Kiki Hernandez, 3,500 versus lefty. Just lock and load. This guy is playing just outstanding baseball. He's averaging 10.8 points his last 10 games. 16, 11, 10, 14, 33, 8, 3, 10. Like, basically 8 or more in 7 of his last 8 games, 10 or more in 6 of his last 8. And these aren't all against lefties. He's just playing really, really well in a good matchup versus Anderson at 35. He should be a play in a lot of lineups because that is extreme value and a phenomenal matchup with a really good player. You play him outfield or shortstop. Really good value, whichever way you want to break it down. It's just a really, really good play. Again, we mentioned Ketel Marte earlier as an interesting option. Other than that, shortstop's been a mess, and our usual value guys are playing guys like DeGrom and company, so it's a little rough. Or maybe a Freddie Galvis at 3K versus Musgrove could be in play for you. Headed to the outfield, you got Mookie Betts at 61, Mike Trout at 6. Trout still hasn't had an extra base hit in an eternity, it feels like, so be careful there, but it is Mike Trout, so I'm not saying don't play him by any means. But Sabathia facing Betts and JD Martinez, we love those guys versus lefties, so those are both really good plays there. Odubel Herrera at 53, people are going to see that price tag and run from him. It's a phenomenal spot versus Fetty, so you can definitely look there. And Shin-Soo Choo versus Dylan Covey in that matchup at 52, both really, really good plays. It was a shame Christian Yelich left with an injury yesterday because he'd be in a great spot tonight. But we digress. Mentioned Eric Thames earlier. Rhys Hoskins, straight fire. Since coming off the DL, absolutely crushing baseballs. He's 4,900 versus Fetty. Love him tonight. Love Rhys Hoskins tonight. I wouldn't be shocked if he goes to Ding Dong City yet again. That is a phenomenal play. One of my favorite plays on the slate is Rhys Hoskins. Get some Rhys Lightning. Nelson Cruz versus Ian Kennedy is very, very intriguing on that matchup there. Justin Upton in play. You go down like Nomar Mazara at 46 versus Dylan Covey. Something I can definitely look at there. Starling Marte versus Lauer at 46 is interesting. And that lefty-righty matchup in Petco, Pirates will go super overlooked, and maybe rightfully so, but if you want to get some super low ownership. A 14-game slate usually don't look too much for ownership, but there will be some chalk on the slate as usual. So pick your ownership spots. But like Juan Soto at 45, love it. Absolutely love it. Teoscar Hernandez at 44 versus Francisco Liriano is outstanding. I think that'll go way overlooked. I think Toronto will go overlooked tonight. They have a total of 4.9. It's the 5th highest on the slate. Lefties 326. Righties are 402 versus Liriano. Like Kendrys Morales is a switch hitter. Justin Smoke. Morales is hitting much better than Smoke of late. You can get him cheap. We just mentioned Teoscar. I'll mention Randall Grichuk later. I wish Steve Pearce was here. This is a perfect Steve Pearce spot, but he's not. But Teoscar at 44 is a very, very intriguing play. Scotty Schebler at 43 versus Chase Anderson. It's outstanding. Great spot, great matchup. Schebler's been leading off a lot lately. If he's leading off, it's a phenomenal spot. A really, really good spot in that matchup. So I like that quite a bit. You look at a Michael Conforto slowly heating up. He's 4,200 versus Alcantara. He could be in play for you. Maybe Nimmo cracks the lineup. He could be as well. Keep those in mind. You go down a little farther, maybe a little Matt Kemp action at 4K versus Tyler Anderson. A little lefty-righty. Dodgers could be very interesting tonight. They have a where's their total? It's 4-2, middle of the pack. So definitely keep an eye on that. That can be quite interesting there. Denard Span at 39 is swinging a decent bat of late if you want to get below 4K and get interesting. Farther down you look, maybe an Andrew McCutchen at 37 versus Corbin. McCutchen has been hitting the ball pretty good overall period of late, but does hit lefties rather well. Corbin's a reverse splits guy right now. Lefties 346, righties 278, but I'll take Kutch's pedigree on that one. But a nice play here at $3,700. Daniel Palka, when he's in the lineup, he's usually hitting cleanup for Chicago. He's facing Gallardo in that ballpark. Palka at 37 could be your sneaky home run call of the day. I think there's a good chance he finds the cheap seats, or at least gives you a double-digit game. Daniel Palka at 3,700. Interesting one there. There's a ton to choose from. I keep Aramis Garcia at 30. Avisail Garcia at $3,600. There's so many Garcias. He's $3,600 against Gallardo. Like that one quite a bit as well. Jesse Winker is on fire. He went deep again yesterday. He's 36. So there's a lot of good stuff here in this little 3 area. Again, if you need to go for pitching, there's definitely some options here that aren't the big flashy names, but definitely good plays. Chris Taylor's back. He's 35 versus Tyler Anderson. Again, Kiki Hernandez at 35 as well. So a couple of good spots there. Gorky Hernandez, if he's hitting at the top of the order, he's 34 versus Corbin. And a GPP, I can definitely get behind that. Cole Calhoun's only 3,400 versus Hess. He came back from the DL hitting really, really well. Been a little quieter of late. Still averaging 7.4 his last 10, like a 4, an 8, a couple zeros, a 12, a 3, a 0, a 25, a 14, an 8. So a little hit and miss, but 34 for Calhoun against Hess in that matchup is very, very nice. Again, the Angels, one of the higher totals on the slate. I mentioned Steve Pearce already at 34. Definitely like that one. Nick Williams, if he's hitting in the middle of that Philadelphia lineup at 34, is a good GPP play against Fetty. Definitely home run upside there. So play for the home runs tonight, folks. If you're catching a trend here, play for the home runs. I wouldn't worry as much about stacking. Maybe do many 2-man, 3-man stacks at the most. Don't go full on game stacks. Go more for the home runs. Home runs, long ball night. That's my recommendation to you. But there's a ton of other options. Jorge Bonifacio at 32, if he's in the lineup, is interesting. I wouldn't maybe go there just yet. Maybe see how he gets back and adapts with the lineup. There's maybe a Chris Owings at 3K versus Suarez is a cheapie. You could look that direction. A Matt Joyce at 3K if you want to fade Bauer for some reason. You could look there. 100 Pence at 29. I really would not go there unless you're desperate for savings. There's probably better savings. And just wait for the lineups to come out. Like Adam Engel at 2,800 against Gallardo in that matchup is phenomenal value. That's a great matchup and a great ballpark. $2,800. That's what I kept trying to reiterate earlier. If you're going to look at value, look at matchups, ballparks, and might not be the flashier name of the two, but it's the better option of the two. So there's your bats on this slate. Recap on the pitching real quick. You got Bauer and DeGrom, 1A, 1B. Then you got Cole as the other $13,000 dog, and Nick Pivetta at 95. In your 7Ks, you got Musgrove and Gonzalez. Down in the 6Ks and below, Stroman 1, Alcantara 2, CC 3, Font 4. So lots of ways you can do it. Pay up for pitching and take some nice value bats, or you can pay down and get all the big boys, or you could pay down and get a lot of really good bats, leave money on the table. Lots and lots of ways to go with it, but tons you can target here. Don't forget the Texas game, the White Sox and the Rangers. You got Anaheim against Hess, which is outstanding. The Mariners against Kennedy could be a little sneaky, as he gives up a lot of long balls. Lefties hit 356, righties 364. The Blue Jays are going to be the super sneaky one. People are going to walk right past that one, and they can let you down in a heartbeat. But Teoscar, Randall Grichuk, really good outfield options. You know, you still got guys like Solarte and Morales. Sneakier plays you can take looks at there. And so on and so forth. So a lot to like there. Let's look at your BVP on this slate. I didn't even mention all this the offense I like. I'm more the home run guy tonight, as I said earlier. Greg Bird, 3 for 9 with a homer off Eduardo Rodriguez. Gardner and Romine have taken him deep as well. Mookie Betts, 10 for 24, 2 doubles off of CC. Steve Pearce, 9 for 33, 2 doubles, 2 homers. Leon's taking him deep. Bogarts is taking him deep as well. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. Bryce Harper, 3 for 7 with a double and 2 homers. All hits are extra base against Nick Pivetta. Rendon, 4 for 8, 2 doubles. Joey Votto, 4 for 12, 2 doubles off Chase Anderson. Ryan Braun, 5 for 10, 2 doubles and a homer off Sal Romano. Thames and Shaw taking Romano deep as well. Justin Vore, 8 for 19 with a double and 2 homers off Jacob deGrom. There's your value GPP if you want to get really weird, because we know he can take anybody deep, and he's had some success versus Jacob deGrom. Carlos Gomez, 6 for 14 with a triple off of Cole. Ramos, 3 for 12 with 2 homers. George Springer, Marvin Gonzalez, and Altuve have all taken Font deep. Avisail Garcia, 3 for 10 with a double and 2 homers off Gallardo. Abreu, 4 for 10 with a double and a homer. Both really solid plays there. Avisail was like $3,600. Marcelo Zuna's hitting 405 against Teheran, 17 for 42, 2 doubles and 3 homers. Matt Carpenter, 6 for 12 with a double and 2 homers. 2 really nice GPP plays versus Julio. Like that quite a bit. Hunter Pence, 15 for 38, 4 doubles, a triple, and 4 homers off Patrick Corbin's at $395 average. Take that with a grain of salt, because Pence is a different guy right now. Brandon Crawford, though, 9 for 32, 2 doubles, a triple, and 2 homers. So keep, as a team, they're hitting 265, 318 WOBA, 136 ISO. Lots of at-bats against him. K with the Chris Davis, 4 for 10 with a triple and a homer off Trevor Bauer for your GPP desires. Mike Zunino, 3 for 7 with a homer off Ian Kennedy. Talked about him earlier as an interesting home run option. Whit Merrifield, 3 for 5 with a homer. Justin Turner, 10 for 18, 3 doubles and a homer off Tyler Anderson. Bellinger, Kemp, Turner, Enrique, Kiki Hernandez have all taken Tyler Anderson deep. Chris Iannetta, 3 for 12 with 2 homers off Hill. Arenado, 2 for 3 with a homer off of Hill. There is your BVP on this slate. Lots and lots and lots going on there. So check it all out. No important birthdays to talk about today. Fun 14-game slate on top. Lots of interesting pitching up top. Lots of bats to target value or not. So go check it out. Check us out on Twitter at TheSportsDegens, TheSportsDegens.com. Our boy at FantasyAid1, Andrew McClintock, dropped a Max Muncy article last night. Really good stuff there. The World Cup is down to the round of 16. Knockout time, boys and girls. And Francisco's got your picks to get you ready for all the weekend's action in the World Cup. Lots of fun going on there. Bench with Bubba, episode 104 with Mike Beers Water, talking best balls for the NFL. Tons of great stuff there. Check that out. Episode 103 with Paul Martin. Lots of great stuff talking Yankees and prospects there. Got Around the Base with Bubba and Mo, episode 70, recapping some preseason predictions and some other good stuff there. So go check it all out. Lots of great content. A lot more coming up over the weekend. Give me a follow on Twitter at BDintric, and I'll help you out. Join the Slack chat. Tons of great stuff. Enjoy your weekend. It's going to be a hot one out here in my neck of the woods. Hope everybody else stays cool, has some fun, and I'll catch you guys on Monday. This was MLB DFS Quick Hits, your Friday, June 29th edition. I'm out.